Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! You guys are tuned into and are watching the most popular Descendants and Zombies YouTube channel in the world, and I have each and every one of you to thank for that. I, of course, am your host, Jonathan Clarke. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas to everybody watching. I hope it is just as beautiful as an evening wherever you're hearing my voice for perhaps the very first time, just as beautiful as it is here tonight. And I'm really excited to join you to talk about Descendants and Zombies more than I ever have, because this YouTube channel is coming up on its latest milestone. If you haven't heard, we are approaching 3,500 subscribers. And this is huge for this YouTube channel, because I never thought this YouTube channel would ever see 500 subscribers, much less 3,500. That will happen for us. We will cross that milestone in just a couple of days from now. And I have each and every one of you to thank for that and to celebrate this milestone with. So if you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, if you would love to contribute to this YouTube channel and become one of those 3,500 subscribers, which we have yet to experience, you can hit the subscribe button before you go. I love having the opportunity to talk about Descendants and Zombies with so many wonderful people who have felt inspired by all these moments that truly have defined them as Descendants and Zombies fans. We all have a favorite character and a favorite superstar from this franchise. Kylie, Freya, Ruby. Ruby Rose Turner, for those of you who have been subscribed to this YouTube channel for what feels like forever, or must feel like forever for everybody, has become my favorite Descendants and Zombies character for just how genuinely kind she was and how passionate she felt about that role. Because ever since she donned the character Bridget, she had something special to offer to the Descendants franchise, and that was truly undeniable. And that's why she became my favorite character, along with inspiring me to be a better person and to be kinder to the people who I surround myself with every day. And then came Freya Skye, and I've been a part of every moment of Freya Skye's career, from the days of The Next Step, to Zombie Swore Down to the Vampires, to the release of her latest singles, Gold's Gone, and Silent Treatment, which are beautiful songs in their own right, really defining who Freya Skye is. And I can't forget to mention how gorgeous and how beautiful that girl is. She is beyond pretty, and I can see why she's such a huge inspiration to so many millions of people. People have really fallen in love with Freya Skye, and there are so many undeniable reasons why they have. To be honest with you guys, I love her music, and I love how special she is to everybody. I think she's forever and always held a special place in every fan of Descendants and Zombies for what must feel like forever. So because we feel that way about Freya Skye, I think the best way of honoring her legacy is not only to ensure that she goes down in history for having been one of the greatest of all time, but to say something nice about her, because a lot of people have subjected Freya to a lot of unnecessary criticism, and that's where my biggest issue has forever and always lied with the fans of Descendants and Zombies, is because you guys have deserved far better reviews when it comes to Descendants and Zombies for a very long time, having everything to do with the critics that all this seems to fall back on, because they're watching Descendants and Zombies for the very first time ever for the purpose of ever recording a reaction video. That's something that I never do when I record a reaction video, because I think about each and every one of you and how you feel about these characters that you guys have represented yourselves through, that you saw something special in, and you took more of a chance on these guys than ever before. And I remember seeing Kylie Cantrall cry for the first time ever on a lot of videos that she was uploading to Instagram and YouTube at the time. And I said, this isn't good enough. If I was going to say anything about Kylie Cantrall, I was going to say something really nice about Kylie, because she deserved more of a chance to also be taken on her. This was a girl who had less than 500,000 subscribers when her YouTube channel first kicked off. And in less than a year, she had over 500,000 subscribers following her social accounts. And that was truly unprecedented, unlike anything that I'd ever experienced in my lifetime. Because even stars like Ashley Tisdale and Hilary Duff didn't have that many followers starting off. They became popular in a very short amount of time, but never as popular as what Kylie Cantrall did. And it had everything to do with how she had a YouTube channel inspired by Hello Kitty. And be it that I have a Hello Kitty store in the mall just 5 minutes away from where I live, every single time I visit the Hello Kitty store with all this Hello Kitty merch, the first person that comes to mind is Kylie Cantrall. Now that may have something to do with how Kylie has forever and always held a very special place in my heart, as she has yours. But I think everything has to do with how much inspiration we've drawn from Kylie Cantrall, because special events like the Worlds Collide Tour, all these concert and tour dates where she's promoting her EP, Goodie Bag, Denim, and See You Tonight have been flying off the charts, and it's really incredible the reviews that Kylie Cantrall is receiving, apart from all the criticism she too has also been receiving. But I think what we really need to take into consideration is that Kylie Cantrall and Freya both are very emotional people. So when it comes to these moments, they just feel as if they're a part part of something special because they forever and always wanted to be a part of something special with each and every one of you. Kind of like how when I created this YouTube channel, I didn't target one specific niche because of an age demographic. I just wanted to be a part of something special with each and every one of you. Little did I know, lo and behold, it would be Descendants and Zombies that would accept me as your voice up Descendants and Zombies, and I'd be here making sense of everything that a lot of critics really didn't want to ever make sense of when it came to Descendants and Zombies, because they never wanted to make much of a chance for Descendants and Zombies and show it the respect that it forever and always deserved. It goes all the way back to this past summer when the music videos for The Place to Be and Don't Mess With Us were receiving a lot of criticism. I remember these big billboards they had for the Don't Mess With Us and The Place to Be music videos, and people were criticizing the concept of a day walker and a night walker and the confliction between the two groups having everything to do with the relationship that spun off of all of this between Victor and Nova, of course, Freya Sky and Malika Burton's characters. The chemistry was really off the charts. Everybody instantly fell in love with these characters just as fast as you could snap your fingers, and at that moment, I realized that we were experiencing something special, a moment we would never have the chance of experiencing or reliving ever again. So because it was a moment that we would never experience or relive ever again, I thought it was a moment that should forever and always be celebrated and cherished. And I think that everybody's held a special place in their hearts for Victor and Nova, Freya Sky and Malika Burton's characters, for what must feel like forever. Because I think from the very first moment we knew about these people, they were going to be a part of our lives, and we were going to be a part of something special. Because the chance that Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires presented to each and every one of us was a chance to be a part of history. And I've had a chance to be a part of a lot of historical moments over the years, but never quite anything like this. And I know that no matter where I go from here or whatever becomes of me, regardless if I go down in history for being a legend because of Descendants and Zombies and because of each and every one of you, because undeniably it will have everything to do with each and every one of you and the undeniable love and support that you guys bring and show to this YouTube channel every single time somebody hits the subscribe or the like button or rings my bell for a notification every time I upload. This is history, and I think that it's something that we should be talking about more. And when people promise you that they're going to upload videos of Descendants and Zombies say about Freya Sky, they should follow through on those promises, because I was a big fan of Descendants and Zombies ever before I started uploading videos on Descendants and Zombies, or I was a radio show host, or I was a YouTuber. I was watching Descendants and Zombies for pretty much 10 years, and I knew everything there was to know about Descendants and Zombies. As many of you probably already know, perhaps, I've been referred to as a Descendants analyst, having known everything about Descendants and Zombies and your favorite stars, from their favorite colors to what they love, to what they don't appreciate so much, what really gets on their nerves, what they love so much about life and the experiences they've shared and the stories they've told each and every one of you at the Q&As for the Worlds Collide Tour. And ever before that, when the trilogy, the original Descendants trilogy, with the heights of its popularity having everything to do with superstars like Dove Cameron, Sophia Carson, and Cameron Boyce, who we all miss. And I just want to let you guys know that in every video that I ever upload, the legacies of people like Cameron Boyce and your past Descendants and Zombie stars, when it comes to Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson, their contributions to these franchises will never ever be forgotten, and they will forever and always be commemorated and celebrated in the way they've forever and always been meant to be commemorated and celebrated, because these stars and their contributions should never ever be forgotten. I've always believed there is no room in any conversation having anything to do with, say, Freya Sky and Kylie Cantrall, because there is no nice form of criticism. And I think if we're going to devote time to Descendants and Zombies, we should devote time while giving people hope for a foreseeable future and indicate that there is a future for both Descendants and Zombies, because I've seen some of the most ridiculous predictions posted online, especially when it comes to the Zombies franchise, about what could be inside of this vortex. Nobody really knows is the answer right now we currently stand at. So because nobody really knows right now, people are throwing whatever predictions they can your way, everything having to do seemingly with mermaids, pirates, witches, and sirens. And be it that I live on this island for pretty much all of my lifetime, I've had a greater appreciation for stories having everything to do with mermaids. I've read so many beautiful stories and heard so many beautiful stories about mermaids that could tie in significantly to Zombies 5, because we've seen just about everything happen for the Zombies franchise in terms of characters. But even with how much we've already seen happen for the Zombies franchise, don't you think the door could be left more widely open than ever before to discuss mermaids more than ever before, or discuss pirates? I've always loved Pirates of the Caribbean, and I was a really huge fan of Captain Jack Sparrow, Johnny Depp's character in the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. That saga was something I never ever got out of my head for the music, for the powerful script, and just how magical it was. I remember the very first promo for Pirates of the Caribbean back in 2002, 2003, The Curse of the Black Pearl, the first of the series. And I remember how revered that series became because of the first installment of the franchise and how just powerful of a character Johnny Depp brought to life when it came to Jack Sparrow. And I think that this franchise has always been and forever been in high demand for a reboot, and I think the opportunity to bring characters in from this franchise into a franchise like Descendants or Zombies has never been more apparent. Because if you do that, then you're looking at probably 4 or 5 new Zombies movies or 4 or 5 Descendants movies, because you can have the son or daughter of Captain Jack Sparrow see their introduction into, say, the Descendants franchise or even the Zombies franchise to offer more magic than ever before, and so many far more unpredictable storylines. This is precisely why I've been advocating to get in as the writer and producer behind Descendants and Zombies, because I believe that we have so much to offer together to the Descendants and Zombies franchises, because your guys' ideas and your guys' imaginations have really been off the charts. Your imaginations has really gone into overdrive because of Descendants and Zombies, so because they've gone into overdrive, I think because moments like these are only ever meant to happen once for every lifetime and will never happen again, they should last forever. And somebody should be encouraged that these moments should and can last for forever, because I think a lot of critics have tried to post videos to try to discourage your hopes and dreams of ever becoming a reality when it comes to Descendants and Zombies, and it's happened for far long enough. And to be honest with you guys, I think about you guys a lot and what you guys are watching on YouTube when it comes to Descendants and Zombies, because nobody can ever seem to offer you definite predictions or predictions with a certain degree of certainty for the future of Descendants and Zombies without ever indicating there is a future for Descendants and Zombies. Because I've noticed some of the trends every night on YouTube is Zombies 5 going to happen? Is Zombies 5 going to see a release window? Is Zombies 5 really going to happen? Not until 2028. I really wish I had the answers to every question that seems to have forever and always remained unanswered for every single person who ever was a fan of Descendants and Zombies who's joining me here tonight. But know this, wherever you're hearing my voice or wherever you're watching this video from on this beautiful evening that we are sharing in together, Zombies 5 is going to happen. We know Descendants 5 with Wonderland will happen sometime between now and July 2026, which is a date on the calendar that I'm really excited about, because when you talk about a release of a movie, there's never been a release of a movie that comes with so much anticipation to find out what the consequences of time travel are and what will happen from the altering of the fabric of time, which is very dangerous on times. I've often wanted to go back in time, be in possession of a pocket watch, and alter the fabric of time myself just to see what consequences I would be faced with, because it looks so fun. And this storyline is one of the most unique and definitely most far-fetched storylines that we've ever seen in the history of Descendants and Zombies, because when you really think about it, by Descendants 2, the first storyline was really presented. The first movie focused on the relationship between Mal and Ben, and at least 50 minutes of the 2-hour-long production focused on that relationship. But by Descendants 2, the story got more in-depth because, of course, Mal was presented with a rival, Uma, the daughter of Ursula, which was a very authentic storyline, which really went the distance in defining that storyline. And then by the Rise of Red franchise, a whole new storyline was presented, focusing on the value of friendship and just how precious time actually was. Because while we were focusing on that friendship, Red and Chloe were faced with so many consequences of some of their actions, but still so many consequences to face because of altering time, because they wanted to fix some of the issues that were presented within their families, because of how legendary the stories of both Alice in Wonderland and Cinderella had gone on to achieve so much severity over at least the last 50 years. And to be honest with each and every one of you, when that teaser first dropped in the Royal Wedding in 2021, when of course Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson were doing their final voiceover work for Descendants, and a special like the Royal Wedding, I was so excited to know that characters from Alice in Wonderland and Cinderella could potentially be making their way into the Descendants franchise for this incredible new journey that we were embarking on. Little did we know that people like Kylie Cantrall and Malia Baker would don these roles, and how fantastic of a job they would do. Absolutely fabulous. And Ruby Rose Turner would be thrown into the mix, whose story I believe is far from being told and completed. I will forever hold on to that belief on my own invisible magic carpet ride, because I think that Ruby Rose Turner was the most gifted and talented Descendants star of all time. Having a franchise focusing on Ruby Rose Turner alone is a movie series in its own right. If you can have the same thing happen for Ashley Tisdale from High School Musical fame back in 2011, after 3 years after High School Musical had seen a hiatus from High School Musical 3 senior year, you can have the same thing happen for Ruby Rose Turner, or you can have her just have an unexplainable reemergence in that franchise, because there's just something magical about Ruby's voice and Ruby's personality that just having her not be a part of the Descendants franchise just doesn't feel right to me, because it has everything to do, it may have everything to do with how Ruby became my favorite Descendants character of all time, and how I can never seem to say enough nice things about Ruby, but I think she has something so special to offer to this franchise, and I don't think anyone should ever give up on believing that Ruby could see a reemergence in this franchise, because her story is far from over and far from being told and completed, and I will forever advocate for Ruby to return, because we still have a long way to go and a lot to be excited about for the foreseeable future when it comes to Descendants of Zombies. While people will suggest that release windows are looking anywhere between 2026, spanning from 2026 up until 2028, I forever and always believe that production for Zombies 5 could happen as early as 2026. Disney has this way of keeping everything secret. They're kind of like Indiana Jones or 007, Agent Under Fire. They are trying to keep it as secret as possible, but honestly, guys, I'm enjoying this ride because this is an incredible journey that I've been on because of each and every one of you. Thank you guys so much for allowing me to join you on this incredible journey to help you make sense of everything Descendants and Zombies related, because we've had so many significant things happen for this franchise over the last 10 years. I've had this conversation with many people over my lifetime about how much can happen in 10 years, and really when you think about it, a lot can happen in just over a decade. And we have had so many wonderful memories that we've experienced in together, but so many wonderful memories that we will never ever forget. But we have so much yet to create and so much to experience, and that's what's so exciting about these midnight premieres that I throw up on this YouTube channel when I dedicate the rest of my life to uploading videos about Descendants and Zombies for each and every one of you, because you guys have deserved the best reviews about Descendants and Zombies. We don't know what's going to happen in Descendants of Zombies. We don't know what supernatural lore will be explored by the time we get to Zombies 5. All we know is that we're kind of going to be reintroduced to the characters Victor and Nova, and just find out how special and how much of a meaning they're going to bring to a franchise that forever and always held a special place in the hearts of Meg Donnelly and Milo Manheim, who will never ever quit on the Zombies franchise, because they're going to be sitting behind the camera as executive producers, which is something I kind of want to get in on. So if you guys could give me 50,000 likes and 50,000 subscribers, that would be greatly appreciated as we approach our next milestone on this YouTube channel. I remember when this YouTube channel recorded its first 2,000 watch hours, and I couldn't believe it. You guys really created something special for me and gave me the honor to come back in 2025 after having been on YouTube for over 25 years. I thought my story had been heard enough, had been told and completed, and then after a lot of convincing done by each and every one of you, you brought Jonathan Clarke back in an era that's really defined my legacy and have a chance of going down in history for being one of the greatest of all time, which again has everything to do with each and every one of you. If you notice anything about the people who upload videos about Descendants of Zombies, they never ever seem to thank you guys enough, because they fail to realize that the success seen behind their YouTube channel has everything to do with each and every one of you, because you guys are so magical, and I'm so appreciative of having the honor to spend things like Christmas and Halloween just past October with each and every one of you, because moments like these are only ever meant to happen once in every lifetime, and they should forever and always be cherished and celebrated, because when people like Freya Sky are designated as the most popular teen idol of this generation, that is an award that she will never ever receive again, and an award that she will never ever forget. So when we post videos about Freya Sky, we should be saying something nice about Freya to give people hope for the foreseeable future, having everything to do with her success, because even with how much of a success story she's already been a part of, she has so much more of an success story to look forward to in the future, and I'm just excited to be a part of it, just as each and every one of you are, because you've obviously drawn inspiration from Freya Sky. That's why you're here. That's why you click on my thumbnail every night, and every video that I've ever uploaded finds its way up into the YouTube algorithm, because I have a way of presenting this content far better and far more miraculously and far more amazingly than anybody ever could on YouTube, because nobody ever seems to critique or review or break down or present these franchises in the way they've forever and always been meant to be reviewed and broken down. Because they don't want to. They just upload a 7 to 12 minute long reaction video and leave it at that and tell you how they truly feel about somebody like Freya Sky and Kylie Cantrall. And I've seen tears in people like Kylie Cantrall and Freya Sky's eyes for far long enough, and something can be done about it, and something will be done about it. Because if it's the last thing that we do together, we're going to ensure that their legacies are never ever forgotten. They are forever and always solidified as some of the greatest of all time, and they go down in history long after my time on this earth is through as some of the greatest Disney legends of all time. That's the greatest wish that I've had for being a Disney fan and a fan of Descendants of Zombies for what feels like forever. For those of you who have been subscribed to this YouTube channel from the very beginning, thank you so much from my heart to yours for making this YouTube channel a profound success and a story that will be told throughout the ages, because some legends never die, and I've just wanted to be a legend that will never die and never go away. Some legends are meant to be told over and over and reiterated time and time again, and some legends are just never meant to die. And I've always wanted to be that guy who had a chance to be a part of Descendants of Zombies significantly, to offer you creative energy unlike anything you've ever seen before. Because I can promise you this, as long as I have a heartbeat and I'm alive, Descendants of Zombies will forever and always remain special. It will forever and always mean something special to each and every one of our hearts. And I will make sure that there's a new chapter presented for Descendants of Zombies and a discussion to be had for a very long time. I have never felt more honored. I say this because I have never felt more honored to spend the holiday season with each and every one of you, which, by the way, guys, thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to have come into your lives, to become your voice of Descendants of Zombies, and had so much fun in the process, because I not only had the chance to talk about Descendants of Zombies, I had the honor of meeting so many incredible fans. Thank you so much from my heart to yours. Having said that, guys, Freya Sky is destined for greatness. I'm excited to be a part of the foreseeable future, having everything to do with Freya Sky. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell for every time I upload a video about Freya Sky, because there's still so much of a conversation to get into and to be had about Freya Sky, and that makes this future, when it comes to Freya Sky, that much more enjoyable. And I'm just really excited to be a part of it and to be along for this unforgettable ride, on this unforgettable journey that you guys have had me on for what feels like forever. Thank you so much for watching this video. Stay kind to each other, guys, because kindness really does go a long way in this world, because life really is that much sweeter when all of us are. Stay calm and zombie on, because that's forever and always what remains to be said about the unpredictable future that we have in store for Descendants of Zombies, because one should believe more than they ever had that Zombies 5 has a future. And I'm just excited to be a part of it, just like each and every one of you. Thank you guys so much for having watched this video on this beautiful evening.